This year's presidential campaign has been far from boring, as runners such as Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, and Ted Cruz have all made it very interesting and worth keeping track of. Recently, Trump accused Cruz's father of being associated with the death of John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Infuriated, this is what Ted had to say. I'm going to tell you what I really think of Donald Trump. This man is a pathological liar. He doesn't know the difference between truth and lies. He lies practically every word that comes out of his mouth, and in a pattern that I think is straight out of a psychology textbook. His response is to accuse everybody else of lying, according to Cruz. Many people may not agree with Trump, and I do not fully support him and his ideas as well. But calling him a pathological liar takes it a step over the line and could change the race for president immensely. I am very interested to see Trump's next response to the media regarding this statement. The thing that really gets on my nerves about this incident is that to what authority does Cruz have to just blatantly call Trump out, not only being a liar, but a pathological liar? Sure, many people can argue the fact that Trump's statement was bold and extremely out of nowhere to call Cruz's father out on being part of the murder of a beloved and perhaps one of the most greatest presidents of the United States, but that does not mean he is lying. I greatly believe a presidential candidate such as Donald Trump would not just make up a lie like this. I mean, come on, people, use your brains. If Donald Trump somehow is telling a lie, it would greatly decline his chances at becoming the next president of the United States and hurt his reputation even more. After all, Trump has done to help himself become the next president. I think this is only to speak the truth of other candidates' lives and show the world what choices they're capable of making. This could definitely hurt Trump's campaign as people look at him as a liar for the sole reason of another presidential candidate, which is running against him, who's feeding the public information that he's a liar. But what do we know? We need experts to deliver us the truth. The way I see it, this has all to do with being an injustice. Not only is Cruz denying the statement, but he's being a jag about it, as he states. This is not a reasonable position. This is just kooky. While I'm at it, I should admit that yes, my dad killed JFK. He's secretly Elvis, and Jimmy Hoffa is buried in his backyard. I mean, are you serious? Someone just called your father out for creating a huge crime, and you're going to make jokes of this? I mean, come on. I think it's time to grow up, Ted. Cruz also stated about Donald Trump, morality doesn't exist in his mind. This grinds my gears. If Trump doesn't care about morality, then why is he trying to bring back that people have to work for their money, or the fact that he is trying to solve problems by building a wall that separates us from people from coming in and hurting our country as a whole? Now, I am not saying that all immigrants are bad. I'm trying to state that Trump just wants to keep America safe from the people that are trying to get in illegally and keep America prosperous. The Catholic Church looks at this statement and can only look surprised and offended at Ted Cruz for blatantly saying what he said about Trump, as he presents no factual evidence. God created us to not only recreate, but to also love everyone and follow his path. Ted Cruz is not following that path, as he is hurting Trump's campaign just because he brought up a piece of information regarding his family. God would not be happy with this. I believe human dignity is being both upheld and violated. For Trump, he is holding strong and not tearing Ted Cruz apart for his statement. However, for Cruz, he is enraged by what Trump had to say and did not have the strength to deal with it and made it into a political outrage. Cruz's words have violated both the Old Testament law and civil law. It violates the Old Testament law due to Cruz ignoring the moral law, as God gave it to us through scripture and tradition in the Old Testament. Also, it violates civil law. His argument has concerned a community of voters, as it could affect the outcome of the whole race. Calling someone a pathological liar is sinful. The Bible describes sin as the breaking or transgression of God's law, and Ted clearly does that, as God would never want to hear someone call another human being that. Also, he could have called him something more respectable than a liar. Cruz's moral object always had the intent to decline Trump's chances of winning the election and causing him to deal with excessive media. The four types of sin are original, which are committed by Adam and Eve; social, which are committed in the community; commission, which is the act of doing something we shouldn't do; and omission, which is a sin committing by not doing something we should do. What Cruz said is a commission, omission, and social sin, as he knew what he was doing. He was saying as he chose to do it, and it affected the remaining candidates still in the race. Jesus' teaching is by far the opposite of what Cruz is doing. Jesus would want Trump and Cruz to speak face to face about the matter at hand and resolve it with no differences. The Pope and the bishops have not come out to spoke about the issues yet, and has not weighed in on the presidential problems in the past. Wrath is a virtue being present by Ted Cruz, as he cannot get a grip of himself and causes ruckus with Trump. Charity is a virtue that is much needed in this situation. Donald and Ted need to be united with God and need to quit presenting hatred upon each other. To cure the differences between the two candidates, Ted Cruz should apologize to Donald Trump, including what he did wrong on national TV, and Donald Trump should only focus on bettering his campaign and not worry about other family members. Donald Trump's political campaign committee is currently trying to defend the candidate and try to prove that Trump is simply speaking the truth. You can contact them at www.donaldjtrump.com/contact if you have any information or questions. Thank you. Here's a video of what Cruz had to say.
Donald Trump alleges that my dad was involved in assassinating JFK. This man is a pathological liar. He doesn't know the difference between truth and lies. He lies practically every word that comes out of his mouth. The man cannot tell the truth, but he combines it with being a narcissist. Listen, Donald Trump is a serial philanderer, and he boasts about it. This is not a secret. He's proud of being a serial philanderist. The man is utterly amoral. Morality does not exist for him. Donald will betray his supporters on every issue. If you care about immigration, Donald is laughing at you. And he's telling the moneyed elites he doesn't believe what he's saying. He's not going to build a wall. That's what he told the New York Times. He will betray you on every issue.